What's up, everyone? Justin with Is It Scary, Wisconsin. Tonight's video will be a little bit off-putting to some of you, and some of you will understand exactly where this is coming from. Tonight's video is titled, Why Positive Only Haunt Reviews, or as we call them, haunt promotions, can be bad for your haunted attraction. Let's get right into it. You know, I've seen this a lot in the haunt industry where we only want positive reviews. We only want to say positive things about the haunted attraction. We only want to show things in a good light. We don't want to talk about the negatives or what the haunts did wrong or where the scares faltered or failed or weren't good enough. We only want to focus on the good stuff. Don't get me wrong. Everybody likes to be told when they do a good job. Even myself. However, too many Glazer's donuts is not a good thing. Let's get right into things. These positive-only haunt reviews can give you a false sense of accomplishment. The glazing reviews, the positive-only reviews, basically say what they know the haunt owners and management and actors want to hear to continue getting free tickets. This came up a lot in like the gaming industry where gaming review journalist sites would not give a fully negative review to certain games, so they continue getting review codes from those companies. Same thing can be said about haunt reviews, where these positive only review influencers, I guess we'll call them, will continue to do these kind of reviews to keep getting free tickets or to keep it in a positive light or to stay on the haunt owner, haunt manager's good side. It can really give a false sense of accomplishment when there should never be a review that's only positive. Again, it's important to understand the nuance and the difference between a promotion and a review, right? Even in 10 out of 10 video game reviews, there's always a section where they talk about things that could have been done better or things that could be improved upon, even if the game is a 10. Same thing with haunted attractions. Even if someone thinks that a haunted attraction is a 10, there's always something that could be improved on. That's what separates the truly great haunted attractions from the mediocre haunted attractions. The great ones are always looking to improve, while the mediocre haunts are, I guess, accepting of second best. I don't know how to say it any nicer. But I think that my first point is a lot of times these positive only reviewers will say what they think management, ownership, and actors want to hear. And while that's nice, it doesn't always necessarily do you any favors. Instead of pointing out areas that need work. Spoiler, there is no perfect haunt. There are no 10 out of 10s. I'm not talking about sections where like scares or sounds or scents or anything like that. I'm talking about overall. There are no 10 out of 10s. There are no 100 out of 100s. There are no A+. There is no such thing as a perfect haunted attraction. That is a very hard pill to swallow. That is hard for a lot of people to hear, especially from somebody like me, who's never actually worked in the industry until this year, who's never actually worked in the industry. There is no such thing as a perfect haunted attraction. Even the best of the best have areas they can improve on. Like I said previously, what really sets your top tier premium haunted attractions apart from your mid-card players, the owners and the management and even the actors and actresses are constantly saying, tonight's show might have been our best performance, but I feel like this room could have been better. I feel like this scare could have been executed better. That is the difference between a scare team and a scare crew that gets it and one that doesn't quite have it together yet. Positive only reviews or promotions do nothing to aid in the improvement of the haunt. They can distract from areas of the haunt that really do actually need work. I'd mentioned this previously. If you only get to see the positives about your haunted attraction from reviews, you miss a lot of the subtle things and the little things that are wrong or not as good as they should be, and they add up to a really poor overall customer experience. When you finally do get a bad review, instead of saying, oh yeah, I could see why they think that, oh, other people have said that to me, you lash out at even the reviewers, as we've experienced, and throw a hissy fit and whine and cry in your Facebook chat groups. Look, we all know you have them. It's not a secret. This is a bad look for management and ownership. Instead of taking responsibility and saying, you know what, these things do need to be better, we've got some work to do, you say, screw those guys. They don't know what they don't know what they're talking about. It's a really bad look. I want to give a shout out to Dan from Warriors Haunted Asylum. He'd never interacted with us before. He'd never met us before. We came through and gave him the classic Is It Scary Wisconsin treatment this past year in 2024. And Dan, he owned all of it. And instead of letting it get him down, he accepted the review. Like I said previously, he owned a lot of it. And then he said, here's how we're going to make it better moving forward. The sign of a really good haunt owner. I wanted to make sure I gave him props. Dan, in my book, big winner. You don't learn anything. No, there's nothing more here. You seriously, you learn nothing. And finally, even if, as an owner manager, you don't want to hear it, I admit it, I don't always want to hear it. But even if, as an owner manager, you don't want to hear it, chances are your big name actors and actresses or your actor managers have already said it to somebody else. I know that some owners and managers watching this are going to go, well, my scare crew doesn't talk about my haunt. They don't talk to reviewers. They don't do this. They do. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but that little voice in the back of your head that says, I think some of my scare crew might be talking to Is It Scary and might have discussed some of this stuff with them. That little voice, there's a reason you have that little voice. Because it's true. This year, we had between, I'd say, 3 and 5 different actors, and not John Everyman actors, big name actors and actresses from some of the biggest haunts in the state message us and say, hey, you guys are saying the quiet part out loud. We appreciate the critical reviews with honest input from actual customers. This is stuff we've been trying to tell management for years, and it feels like they don't listen to us. Maybe they'll listen to you guys. I'm not a pro, and I'm damn sure not an expert. But one thing I do consider myself, I consider myself a customer. When I come through these haunts, I want to have a great experience, especially when I'm paying $20, $25, $30, $35, sometimes $60, $70, and $80 for a night out. Say what you want. I think that's a lot of money. And if I'm paying you to do a job, you better do it. Now, let's recap. Why are positive-only reviews bad for your haunt? False sense of accomplishment. Glazers cause high blood sugar. They distract from the areas of your haunt that actually need work. And when you do get a bad review, you don't know how to respond to somebody saying, this show kind of sucked. I've actually had people track me down and say, hey man, I used to work here. I was part of the art crew back in the day. And we were all saying exactly what you guys are saying right now. I just want to tell you, we really appreciate you guys actually saying the quiet part. Nobody else seems to want to say it. When you actually get a review like that where somebody says, this was crap, you don't know how to take it because you've had so many people basically saying, that was a really great night out. It's the #1 thing to do in northern Wisconsin. I highly recommend it. $30 ticket price, really fair, and I would go again for sure. Well, of course you'd go again. Your tickets were free. You don't learn anything from a positive-only review. Take that back. Take that back. You actually lose the ability to learn anything when people only act like yes men. I would rather have a team full of people that challenged me on everything that I wanted to do. That's not going to be scary enough. That's not the right time to do that trigger. That's not the right time to have that animatronic. This isn't right. This isn't going to be scary. I would rather have a team of people that constantly challenged me to put a better foot forward than a team of people that just said, yeah, that's good enough. It's never good enough. And remember, owners and managers. I know, totally different video than you guys are probably used to from us. Owners and managers, remember this, please. Your actors are already telling us the stuff we're saying out loud to you in the reviews. It might be time to listen to some of them. I'm Justin with Is It Scary, Wisconsin. Few reasons why positive-only haunt reviews are bad for your haunted attraction. I'm all for lifting up the industry. but I'm also all for improving the industry and raising the standard. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you right here next time. Good night, everyone.